it going, everybody? It is Phanatic Phans. We are back here with more Phillies talk and MLB talk. I am Peyton Borchell.
And I am Anthony Masusak.
And man, we talked about the Braves series last episode, but I kind of want to resurface the home run that Harper hit to give the Phillies the lead and just kind of like what it meant. And the silence of the park around it was just kind of crazy. It was nice, and just to hear him shut him up. And I was hoping he stared down Arcia, but give you a little bit of context. There's a guy on first base. Harper's up to bat, 2-2 count with one out. This could be a double play ball if Bryce Harper hits it on the ground to get him out of the inning, but he finds a pitch that he likes off a lefty. Let's take a listen.
Right center and well hit. And it's gone into that bullpen to put the Phillies back in front. Bryce Harper. There's one fastball, and so they go back to the fastball, but look at the location. Sean wants this out in the corner. He wants it down. Instead, it is middle.
And one thing you do not do to any big leaguer, for that matter, that can play well, but one thing you do not do to Bryce Harper is give him a pitch down the middle. You do not do that in a count where he's either even or ahead. You cannot give Bryce Harper something he's going to want to chase and do something with. And I'm glad he did something with and put it over the right center wall, or
Because the sweepers from the lefties were making him look goofy.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's hard as a lefty-lefty matchup. And
of course, with a sweep, that sweeper was really good. It literally came in on him and just right out of the zone.
Dude, it is the most infuriating thing. I'll get up there, I'll see a lefty, I'm like, fuck. I'm like, damn, dude, yeah. I gotta see this. He throws me one curveball, starts middle, goes outside. Makes you feel like a T-ball player in a way, where you're just trying to see if you can get that ball and make some contact on some of the pitches that these people have nowadays are just lethal and nasty, and it's like so much film watching and all that stuff is just needed in today's game.
Yeah. But the thing is, like, what do you think of Marsh against lefties? Do you think he should start at all against lefties? I know they're going to give him more opportunities, but even against righties, haven't been so impressed with him this season so far yet. I mean, it's a long season.
Yeah.
But the first 10 games, I'm not.
Greaser.
I love Marsh. I love him. And I don't think he should go.
I've always liked him over Johan, is my kind of thing.
I agree. And Marsh would make that catch.
People listening, if you don't know who that may be, which you probably do listening to this, he is a guy who came from the Angels. He's still very, very young, and he has a full beard and just long hair, like down to his shoulders, and he always wets it. He always wets his hair, and it makes him kind of look like a greaser in a way, and it's really funny. My mom was always talking about how he just like looks like he doesn't shower or something when he's just literally putting water in his hair.
Yeah, that's all he does. Before every at bat, every time he goes out in the outfield, just douses himself in water.
It's a ritual for him.
It is a ritual. No matter how cold it is, it's what he'll do.
He'll freeze his hair.
Yeah, I mean, that would be funny if, like, one day it's like his whole beard is just like frozen.
Come October.
But
yeah,
Marsh is still a force to be reckoned with. I mean,
he is.
He's batting ninth right now. Take Rojas out. Send Rojas down to Lehigh Valley and make him pay for what he did. He lost that game for us.
I think, he should definitely understand what it's more like to face, I guess, certain major league positions as in Lehigh, because to make him develop would be really nice if he could just see pitching, hit better, play defense there, take control of the outfield, and then come to Philly and be ready, because he's younger than Marsh. He's pretty much a prospect in most ways, but the thing about Marsh is he's a really good lefty hitter, but he has been 0 for 16 or 0 for 17 to start the year, or for the last 17 at bats, excuse me, he's been 0 for 17, so he's just had a little I guess, obstacle.
Everybody goes through rough patches. I'm not worried about Marsh. I think people are just so quick, like, to trade certain players. Alec Bohm needs to get it together, and he will. He's a first pitch swinging guy, and that's what you have to accept him as. And it's been successful, and he's not going to really change on what he knows can be successful. He's just been, hitting the third baseman a lot, and he's going to do that sometimes. But you can't really get so on him yet. I mean, he's really beating himself up. has a little bit of an attitude. Still, he's matured a lot. He used to throw his bat and his helmet down.
For
And
sure.
he'll still show a lot of frustration, but hold out for Bohm. Where would we be without Bohm would scare me. I think he's an integral part of this team.
I think defensively he's gotten a lot more solid, especially since all the stuff has happened.
He's been always solid. Everybody those infielders, second, third. I mean, not Stott is really really excellent, but short, third, you're gonna get a lot of balls hit at you hard.
Yeah,
they have to lunge at and try to grab and then throw them out at first. I mean, sometimes you're too deep.
Corner.
You're too deep and you're not gonna be able to make the catch. Even the best Gold Glovers, they're not gonna be able to make that.
No, and it's very hard, and he's also young enough where it's emotion can really get to you, especially when you're not producing as much as you feel like you should be if you're, Bohm. But I've always been a Bohm standby, and I've always loved him, and I hated when they were talking about trading him and stuff.
Why the hell would we trade Nick Castellanos, dude?
Not at least now, and I see...
We would never trade him, dude.
Especially after this season, you'd sign him for more years, or whenever his contract... comes up, you got to re-sign him for the rest of his career. I feel like he's solid in the outfield, and his bat is powerful. He's a dominating presence. When you put something that's an off speed over the middle, or a fastball, or something that will be anywhere in the zone, you can trust that he's gonna put a ball on it. And he seems like he's the only one who wants to hit at certain points when the Phillies just can't get it going.
He's always been consistent. In the last season, he was arguably the most consistent hitter on the Phils.
Oh, yeah.
Throughout the whole season?
He was the only one who showed up for that Mets series in the playoffs. He was the only
Schwarber
one.
led it off with a home run. I'm like, this is going to be an excellent series. Mm-hmm. Then what did Schwarber do after that?
Really nothing, and a lot of the team didn't do anything. Harper did the second most amount, and he didn't even do a crazy amount. That team was just stifled.
And Stott had a clutch hit, as far as I remember. But who I want to talk about, Edmundo Sosa, has been had a dominating start for the Phillies.
The utility man of the year, the sixth man of the year, and it honestly should be an award in the MLB, utility man of the year. Honestly,
I agree,
because there's so many of them around the league, and you can see that with so many people. It's a position you need, because when you need to give your starters rest and you need to trust somebody to make plays and have an at bat there, you can trust Edmundo Sosa. Even when he's not on fire like he is now, you can always put him in, and you can trust that he'll put bat on ball and he'll make something happen. But he has been crazy.
And he'll play anywhere. You put him in left, and that catch he made, dude, was astounding.
He robbed that home run that Zach Wheeler almost gave up, and we would have lost that game earlier if that was a home run, rather than what Sosa had made. Because
the first fly ball that got hit to him his first game in left field is a home run robbery
to the left field corner, where he had to run all the way over.
He could do it all
to get to the pole, pretty much, to hop over, which is amazing. And he's been hot.
He's been red hot.
Really
what is he batting? 570 right now?
Yeah, and it's almost at a point where it's if Trey Turner or Bryson Stott, if they weren't so looked amazing upon, especially with Trey Turner's contract, I feel like they would put him as an everyday starter in a way, because it's he can play ball. He can play at any point, hit off of anybody.
Of course he can.
Do his thing, and he's a righty. He's another righty at bat we can have in the lineup, to face some of these really nasty lefty pitchers.
As a pinch hitter too, coming in later in the game.
He's fast. He knows what he's doing. He's a great guy, and I like to put it on him, but it's great. I'd
like to see some more power. I'd love to see him just hit a couple home runs. If he can hit 15 home runs this season, which there's no doubt it's possible. I mean, the dominating presence that he has, but he knows he puts the ball in play, scores runs, defensively great. He's made some crazy plays. When he's playing short, he's definitely at his best. That's his most comfortable position. That's when his bat is the hottest. But you can't take Trey out.
That's the difficult part with taking Trey out.
If you want to give Trey a day of rest, he's the perfect guy to do it. Righty, he's a righty, so is Trey. Replace that righty thing and have him bat fifth. Sometimes even bat fourth. I mean, depending on the pitching and I think Sosa is going to have an amazing season. and he's going to get a really good contract, I think, in the coming years.
Another thing that the Phillies have been doing a lot more that I haven't seen a lot of other teams doing is tampering with their batting lineup a lot. It's like minor changes from what people could be doing. Obviously, we have the controversy of who should be our leadoff, Schwarber or Turner, and then there's obviously, you got to think about the 4, 5, 6 spots, and then obviously you want your best hitter at 3, which is ultimately Harper, but then he can be put at 2. If you have a guy on first who's a leadoff who gets on and Harper hits, he can either hit a tank for a 2-run shot early in the game or move him over for the other hitters to do something. So I like the way Rob Thompson's kind of looking at it, so he's not really just being complacent with one lineup and getting everybody used to something. But I like the Trey Turner leadoff when he takes pitches and he gets on, but I'm never going to be opposed to a Kyle Schwarber leadoff, because a lot of what radio hosts I've been listening to are saying is they would rather face Trey Turner at leadoff than Kyle Schwarber, because they put it perfectly. It's like, if I am going in to start, you have to be dead laser focused right away first pitch, because if you give something over the zone, Kyle Schwarber will swing and it will go out of the park. So you have to be
460 plus feet
from 116 miles off the bat, which was one of his home runs the first game. 116 miles off. To put that into perspective, a really, really hard hit ball is anything over 101 miles an hour exit velo off of the bat. For it to be 116 is like Shohei level, even more than Shohei at some point.
It's more than Shohei. I mean, that swing, it's out. I mean, you make one mistake as a starter, give up a solo shot, lead off home run as Schwarber, your whole mentality is done.
Schwarber.
Yeah.
Schwarber.
You're rattled. Schwarber. You're done. Schwarber is my everyday leadoff. I wouldn't even play around with it, even with the pitching matchups. He can hit lefties. He can hit righties. He hits lefties better than righties, oddly enough, for a lefty hitter. I don't know how the hell he does it.
People don't realize how good of a hitter he really is.
And his discipline is insane. Like, he's really good at looking at the ball, walking. Trey don't walk. And when Trey walks, he don't really go for the steals as all. He goes for the steals when he knows he can get it. But Schwarber won't even really go. He'll occasionally go for it to kind of if he thinks he can catch the pitcher off guard. Sometimes he surprises everybody, but sometimes he doesn't. But he's lost some weight. He's back with a vengeance. From last season, Schwarber is not a force to be reckoned with.
No, people don't understand how good of a hitter he is. He literally has a stat where he's hit a home run in every single playoff series. Literally the AL and NL and World Baseball Classic. He has hit a home run in the ALDS and the NLDS, the ALCS, the NLCS, the World Series on both sides, the World Baseball Classic. Like, the man is just crazy, and that's like a stat that a lot of people can't think of, even they can dream of. To be on Team USA, to hit one, for your country, plus not even including the World Series and being on both sides of the league and hitting home runs in every single one of those playoff series. That is very hard to do, and it's just something that a lot of people, because he strikes out a lot. He doesn't have the highest batting average most of the time, but he's like a Juan Soto who is either going to walk or hit a bomb or strike out. And obviously, since he's our DH, I'd rather not have him in the outfield. But
no, we don't need him in the outfield. We really don't. He's our designated hitter. If he needs a day off, or if someone needs a day off, Harper can DH and he can play in left in an emergency. I don't even hate him out in the left field. I think he's obviously not as fat, but he's a smart player out there. He knows when to pull up a little bit or go back. He knows what he's doing out there, and he can usually get to the ball if it's not too far, but he'll play it well. He'll play as best as he can. Schwarber is fantastic, and there's really nothing. I have nothing bad to say about him. Arias last season, Luis Arias for the Marlins, I think he batted in the neighborhood.
He was on the Padres, I think, last year too. He was on the Padres.
He switched. He switched over. I think when he went to the Marlins, I think he was batting. He ended the season with 368 batting average, which is amazing. Schwarber, with only 4 home runs. Schwarber reached base more than him.
Oh yeah,
with the walks and everything. And Schwarber reached base he walked more than anybody else in the National League. He's a force to be reckoned with, and people are like, oh, but he strikes out too much. Yeah, but when he does not strike out,
It's amazing. Don't you think, like, it's like, do you think if Kyle Schwarber played later, like if he came up with Juan Soto and he was a young kid now, do you think he would be getting paid close to
he'd be getting more if he was the same age as Soto.
He'd be like a top paid person or player in the league.
He'd probably be making more than Soto on that scale.
Rate.
He's a better. I would take him over Soto any day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, and as a DH too, you don't even need to give him as many day offs because all you're doing is hitting. You're not literally physically taxing your body more than you are if you're playing the field and hitting. So he's literally fresh for so much of the year. His one job is to see ball, hit ball, and then back his team when they're on the defense, and that's what I love.
I take Casty over Soto and right.
Yeah, there's a lot of people. I mean, we can have a lot of bias on this show.
It's biased. I'm 100% biased.
But we're being genuine.
I'm seriously genuine. I would take Casty over Soto for a multitude of reasons. Because Casty is just that guy. Casty has a certain presence. Soto is that guy that you want to beat. Mm-hmm. Shohei's that guy you want to beat. You don't want these guys on. We don't want these guys on our team, believe it or not. Like, if we had Shohei on our team, it'd be excellent. But he's that guy you want to see struck out, and you want to see everybody cheering. Same with like Acuna. Like, if we had him on our team, our numbers would probably be better. But
there was rumors talking about how we could get Juan Soto when he was fighting for those big deals, and I don't like him at all. And I was just kind of like, I mean, like I would like him when he went to the Phillies, but I also just don't necessarily fully want that because I mean, in a way, Nick Castellanos is like a Cal Ripken, dude. He played every single game.
162 games without a beat. Played every game. You know how
taxing that is on your body and stuff. Like
162 games in a season, and he played every single one. Consistently hit. You know, Soto's not going to play 162 games.
No, and to put that into perspective, like I only have like 30-some games in my season, and me included and other people on the team, like the injuries that come through that, like obviously we don't have the rehab and the facilities and the trainers and the personal cooks and like, you know, things that can we can't go in the clubhouse 8 hours early before game day and get stretched out and do all these things and have huge ice baths prepared for us and stuff. So it's obviously different, but like to really think about that in a major league sense, to not make an error the entire season or the longest streak without making an error, and then to have 162 games under your belt while being a consistent outfielder and hitter, that's something you can't ask more from a player. And that's why I don't like the Castellanos hate. Like, I understand as a Philly fan you're passionate, but I don't understand why we would ever talk down on somebody who's
why hate on him.
If anybody is to be battered on that team that you would think should be performing way better than they are is a Rojas or a Marsh, maybe even a Kepler right now, which is not even like something. Realmuto with his bat, you know, I mean, he's still defensively the best or one of the best catchers of all time. But like, it's just baseball, man, and we love to see it, and we love to go through with it, and we love to watch it, and hopefully they can continue their pace and winning. So do you have anything else to say, Anthony?
I think that wraps it up. I think all I have to say is that if the Phillies win the night and win the series against the Braves, it would be huge. It would take the Braves. Would that be their 10th loss of the season?
That will be. They're 2-9 right now. That would be I don't know if they might be the first team to hit 10 if that happens tonight. There's probably a couple teams that are up for grabs on that standing point. But if you really think about it, a lot of the bad teams aren't even as bad of a record as they are. They just haven't been playing a lot of team baseball, and their bats haven't been doing anything, and it's just been something nice to see. But that will kind of wrap up our episode for today on Phillies talk and Phanatic fans overall. So thank you guys for tuning in. I'm Peyton Borchelt.
I'm Anthony Masusak.
And we'll catch you on the flip side.
Take care.